What's going on, everybody? My name is Tech, and as you guys know, for the last 15 years, I was the #1 seller of pre-owned men's clothing on eBay in all the categories: shirts, shorts, pants, jackets, sweaters, vintage, hats, you name it. I was the #1 seller in all the categories for 15 years. But today we are going to go over one of the most important concepts that helped me build my business profitably every single step of the way. So there is no reason, no excuse for anybody to be reselling, anybody to be selling on eBay, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, whatnot, any platform you want to be on. There is no reason, no excuse for anybody to build a reselling business, not making profit, not making money. eBay affords us such humongously large returns, such humongously large return on our investment, profit margins, spreads. None of us should be running in the negative. None of us should be losing money. None of us should be doing this without any sort of cushion or any sort of savings account or savings goal. If you are doing that, I'm afraid to say that you are reselling the wrong way. And if you've stumbled across this video, you've come at the right time. I am releasing this right after the 1st of January. So it's 2024. We have a new year. This video right here, if you watch it fully, you might have to watch it a couple of times. There's going to be a lot of information, but this information is information that you need to resell on any of the platforms, eBay, you name them, any of the platforms successfully going forward. So this principle right here is something that we talk about in the group very often. And it's a principle that a lot of people who have been through the group and now have different platforms, or maybe now they have their own groups, and it's not one person, it's many people. They've been through the group and they try to rehash the information or put their own spin on it, or just directly take the information and then put it out as their own. But they never, ever, ever describe this principle and do this exercise correctly. They always mess it up, and it doesn't work when they are explaining it. So you will get it from the horse's mouth. You will get it from directly the person that they get it from, and they rehash it. So that way it comes out correctly, and you know where a lot of this information comes from. So that's neither here nor there. People are free to do as they wish. Doesn't bother me. But one of the biggest principles when it comes to reselling on eBay is the example that we use is $20 profit. And maybe where you live, a $20 profit is hard to find. I get it. I understand the thrift stores are going up. The competition is out there. The fees are going up. Inside of the group, we do have something that is called the deep dive document. And I'll share that with you guys here. And inside of this document right here, it's very beautiful. Brett in the group, he put it together. And we have over 100 brands. I'll just pick a random page and let's see where it lands us. And this page right here is all about this brand right here, Billabong. Now, some stuff in Billabong is worth picking up. Some stuff in Billabong is not worth picking up. It shows the sell-through. It shows the tags. We'll go to another page, check out another brand. Brooks Brothers, some stuff for Brooks Brothers is worth picking up. Some stuff is not. We have sell-through rates. We have brand identification. We have BOLOs, what exactly to look for in these particular brands. So we have this for probably over 100 brands now, from A to Z, all different kinds of categories, clothing, toys, even linens is in there, media. Every single category is part of this. It is an ever-evolving deep dive document that shows you tags, brands, sell through, different kind of price points, because on surface level, a lot of brands are not worth picking up. On surface level, a lot of brands are saturated when you go in there and when you do your searches. So for Ralph Lauren, for example, and I use this example from time to time, you search Ralph Lauren on eBay, there's over 1 million results. Surface level, not a great sell-through, probably don't pick it up, we leave it on the racks. But there's individual things inside of Ralph Lauren, certain lines, certain patterns, certain emblems, certain characters that automatically escalate a bad item into a very good item with over a 100% sell-through. And one of the examples is the red Ralph Lauren shirt, big pony, Spain across the front. That has over a 100% sell-through. But on the surface level, that's not a good item to pick up, because surface level Ralph Lauren has over 1 million results and a 20% sell-through. So that sell-through is based on a 90-day period. And this is very important. 90-day period. So if it has a 20% sell-through, it's going to take 5 90-day periods on average for you to sell that item. Now, the year has 4 90-day periods. So on average, Ralph Lauren as a generic listing has a 1 year and 3 month sell-through in order to have 5 90-day cycles. If you list it correctly, use the correct keywords, you can speed up that sell-through. If you price it correctly, you can speed up that sell-through, because this is something that a lot of people don't think about. Every single item has a 90-day sell-through at a certain price. For some items, it's $1 will give you a 90-day sell-through. Those are items we are not looking for. For other brands, maybe it's between $15 and $20 gives you a 90-day sell-through, but everyone in the world wants to list it for $20 and up, and they want to sit and they want to wait forever. That's their prerogative. That's up to them. Sell-through is king. If sell-through is not your number one focus, your North Star when you are out listing, when you are running your business, then you are operating the eBay business the wrong way. eBay is a vehicle for us to put in $5 our original investment, get back a $20 profit, put some money into the bank, get our original principal back, reinvest it, or grow. Whatever we want to do, eBay allows us the margins to do so, and we're going to go way in depth on this. Also in the group, we do have the beginner call, which goes over this every single week, because this is such a core principle and it's so, so very important. So I'll just tune you into the schedule that we have. Every single day, Monday through Friday, I host the morning call, and we're in there, we're rocking and rolling. We are learning stuff every single day. I'm locked in, tuned in. I'm not paying bills. I'm not answering emails. I am locked in with you guys on the same team, trying to help you every single morning. On Monday, we have a scheduling call with a focus on parent and caretakers, because that is a complication that is difficult to do. On Monday, we also have the toy call. We have local selling Facebook marketplace call also on Monday. We have the book club at 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday. On Tuesday, I host a $100,000 call, which I am opening up again as of January 1st. So January 1st, we're going to get a new crowd of people in there. Everyone who has sold over $100,000 is welcome. Get a new crowd of people in there, and we get them up to the next level. We also have a fashion and clothing call. This is all clothing, a little bit of an emphasis on women's clothing. That's at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. We have my call 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and I'll go for hours. If you guys have 5 hours of questions, I will go for 5 hours. I'm not scared of that. The longest call that I ever did on a Tuesday night was 11 hours of questions. If you have questions, I have answers. Wednesday, we have our beginner call. Sometimes Isaiah jumps in and he does some beginner calls too. So that's mostly Robert, sometimes Isaiah. Great duo, great team. We also have the shoe call at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, jewelry call 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday, car part sellers, media sellers. We have an Australian business improvement call by Jody. Thursday, we have the beginner call again. We have a bookkeeping and accounting call by a real bookkeeper accountant. We have a UK specific call, YouTube and social media call hosted by James Bold-Fines and Mel back from Burnout. We have an Australia sellers call only for Australia sellers, antiques and collectibles. And then on Thursday, we have men's clothing and the deep dive document, jean sellers, card sellers, Poshmark sellers, and then video game sellers. In addition to that, we have a podcast every single week. This podcast released about 4 weeks ago inside of the group. It's about a month later on the YouTube machine, but tons and tons of information. If it doesn't work out for you, contact me. I'll give you a 100% full refund. It's $1 per day. And if you cannot make a profit on your $1 per day investment, I will happily give it back. And to date, I have given exactly 0 refunds due to it not working. So I am highly, highly confident that this does work. People in the group are up tons of money. Some people are crossing over into the $1 million a year sellers, where when they started out, they were nowhere close to that. So, and that's the beautiful part about eBay. It allows you to build the business around the lifestyle that you want to live. So we have everything from beginners all the way up to over $1 million. And, you know, I'm happy with everybody as long as you are, you know, building the business that you actually want and doing the things that you say you actually want to do. So we're going to jump over here into a tool that is going to show us a lot about the numbers. The numbers can be, very intimidating, but they don't have to be. So one of the core examples that we use in the group is a $20 profit. And a $20 profit is not a requirement. It is just an example, something to kind of set as a guideline. And if you go on the lesser side of a $20 profit and maybe you're looking for a $15 profit, that's okay. It just requires a little bit more photos, a little bit more listing, a little bit more shipping, a little bit more storage. No problem. If you go on the $10 side profit, again, no problem. You can build a beautiful business on a $10 profit. That's okay. You can build that business just fine. If you go on the $25 profit side or the $30 profit side, it becomes a little more easier profit-wise, but it's a little more harder to source those kind of items. So there's like kind of like the balance, the justice, the scale of balance at a court. Sometimes when stuff is a little more difficult on one side, the other side raises. When stuff is more difficult on one side, the other side raises. So we all have to find a balance. So for this example, we're going to do a $20 profit. And again, if you can't find a $20 profit, we also have the zip code call in the group, which is a great, great call on how to identify profitable items in your area. We have the deep dive document, and we spend a lot of time focusing on finding these items that are going to net us a $20 profit. So net is a very important word. We have gross profit, which is our top line. If you sold $100,000 this year on eBay, that is gross profit. That doesn't mean that's what went into your pocket, because a lot of that is shipping, a lot of that is eBay fees, and a lot of that is cost of goods, COGS, cost of goods. How much did you spend on your product? And then you have your net profit. That's after everything has been accounted for, everything has been taken out. What actually goes into your pocket, that is going to be the net profit. So in order to get a $20 profit item, we're going to put $29.99 in here. That means the buyer sold this item for that means the seller sold this item for $29.99. The buyer paid that. Now they also paid $5.95 in shipping. So the total that this buyer paid for our item and for shipping is going to be $29.99 plus $5.95. They're going to pay $35.94. That is before any sales tax that eBay has them pay. So for the item is $29.99. For the shipping is $5.95. Let's say your item costs you $5. And if you have a higher cost, $7, $8, $10, fine. You just have to play around with this calculator and you have to find your number. Let's just say, just for simplicity, that the label costs the same exact amount that you charged. Now, if you don't know, eBay charges us a final value fee on the label as well. So if you are charging the same exact amount that the label is costing, technically speaking, you are losing money on shipping. If you are using calculated shipping and eBay is charging your customer the same exact dollar amount that it actually costs to ship the item, technically speaking, you are losing money on shipping. And that's fine. As long as you can afford it, as long as you can absorb it, that is fine. We just need to know where all of our money is going. There is one order in this transaction. For this example, we're going to have a premium store. We're going to be top rated. We're not below standard. We're not above standard. We're going to be top rated. This is a domestic sale. There is no promoted listings on this sale. We're not going to donate anything to charity. And we're going to use a 6% on our sales tax. Now, you can really find out all of these numbers. You can find out the percentage of your sales that are attributed to promoted listings, and you can put that in there. You can find your on average percent of sales tax that you are charged when you sell an item. That is all inside of the sales tab. And inside of the group, Isaiah did a great call on November 22nd and November 23rd about how to find every single one of these numbers so we know every single penny where it's going inside of eBay. But this is just an example. We are just doing an example. $29.99, the buyer paid for our item. So we sold a jacket for $29.99. That's the offer that we accepted. We charged them $5.95 to ship. We paid $5 for this item that sold for $29.99 plus $5.95 shipping. The label costs $5.95 in this example. Not a promoted listing. Sales tax charge to the customer was 6%. This is in the clothing and accessories category. Our eBay fee on this was $4.53. coming from a final value fee of $4.23. And of course, we have a transaction fee of 30 cents. The buyer paid $2.16. That's only charged to the buyer. So like we already said, we're at $29.99 plus $5.95 plus $2.16. So every single buyer, if we want to make a $20 profit, is going to have to pay us $38.10. Now, some of that goes to eBay, some of that goes to the post office and buying a label, some of that goes to actually our product, and then $20.46 comes to our pocket. So this is over a $20 profit, but just for simplicity and kind of a round number, we'll stick with these numbers for right now. You can come up here and play with this, and you can lower this down to 60 cents for the sale. And that gives us 2011. You can come down here and put 29.50, and that comes out to a $20 profit. So for this example, technically speaking, if you accept an offer for $29.50, the buyer pays $5.95 for shipping. You paid $7. The label costs $5.95. You have a premium store. You're top rated. It was not a promoted listing. This was the sales tax. This would give you a $20.02 profit. And so to clearly illustrate where everybody goes wrong with this example, we have upgraded the Reseller Greatness podcast. Now includes props. We have received additional funding. Not really, but we've upgraded around here. We're stepping up our game because we need to actually hammer this home, and we need to make sure that everybody truly understands what we are talking about, and everybody truly understands why they do not need to run a non-profitable eBay business. So the example that we just worked on, $29.99, that's what the buyer paid for the jacket. This is the item cost. We charged $5.95 for the label. We charged. The post office received $5.95. So this is a wash. This cancels out each other. We had to pay a $4.53 final value fee. According to our numbers, not promoted, how much we charge for shipping, et cetera, et cetera. This gave us a $20.46 profit. $20.46 profit. Very important. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for a $20.46 profit. This is where everybody goes wrong when they are trying to explain this example. This is great. This is profit. But what are we missing here? What are we missing here? When we do $29.99 minus $4.53, we end up with $25.46. That's how much money comes back into our account, $25.46. That money comes back to us, not $20.46. So this extra $5 was what? That was our original investment because we had a $5 cost of goods. Because we had a $5 cost of goods, we make a $20 profit. We receive back into our account $25.46. We get back our original principal. We get back our original investment. Getting back our original investment allows us to do what? Go out and buy another item. We get another opportunity. We get our original $5 back because we get this much back. This is profit. We get this much back into our account. We get our $5 back. If we get our $5 back and we purchase an item that's sold for $29.99, what are we supposed to do? Go out and buy another item that's going to sell for $29.99. If you go out and buy another item and that item sits forever because you didn't look at the sell-through and it's a dog item and it makes you no profit, shame on you. Take your original $5 back, go out and buy another item for $29.99. What does that mean? That means you can put $20.46 where? in the bank. In the bank. Because we sold an item that we bought for $5. We got back our original investment and we went out and bought another item with the same $5. This is not a new $5. This is the same $5. We got our $5. We can put this into our machine, get our profit, put the same $5 back into the machine, get more profit. So with the same $5, if you sell 2 items, now we have over $40 of profit. 20 times 2, $40. 46 times 2, it's going to come out to be somewhere around 91 cents. I am not a mathematical genius, but this is a very easy concept to understand. Our original principle always comes back to us, and we can always save the profits. Now, if you sell an item, you reinvest your original principle, your store or your business does not grow. And that's okay, because guess what? Your bank account grows. If you sell 5 items that you paid $5 each for, all you need is $25 to buy 5 more items, and we got back our original investment, and we walk away with 5 $20 profits. We walk away with $125 in the bank. In the bank. Now, if you get $125 out of your eBay machine and you spend all $125 and you never put anything into the bank, shame on you. Shame on you. Take your $5, buy another item. Now, I want to grow my business. I want to grow my business. How can I grow my business and be profitable? Great. We sell our items for $29.99. Shipping is a wash. We've already been through that. Shipping is a wash. We get a $20.46 profit. But what really comes into our account is $25.46 because we get our original $5 back. Everybody with me? We take our $5, buy another item. Another item, $5. Now we have $20.46 in our bank account. We can take another $5 and do what? Buy another item. Now we have 2 opportunities. Second opportunity. Now we have $15.46 in the bank every single time we sell an item, and we are growing our business. So we are selling items for $29.99. We are taking our original investment, having another opportunity, meaning our store stays flat. If we had 100 items, sold 1, now we have 99. We take our $5, and now we're back at 100. Our store and our business stays the same. Great. We put $20 in the bank. If we want to grow, you take another $5 out of our $20.46 that we put into the bank, and now we're going to put in the bank $15.46. And now our store went from 100 items to 101 items. And we still put $15 in the bank. Now, if you sell 10 items a day and you put 15 items in the bank, you get $150 in the bank every single day, 7 days a week. Where if you do that 7 days a week, 150 times 7, that comes out to $1,050 a week in the bank profit. And that is us selling 10 items per day and saving $15 a day. That's going to get us $1,050 in the bank. This will also replace every single one of those 10 items a day you sold. That will replace 70 items per week. And this will also have you grow your store by 70 items per week. Because we are taking our original $5, replacing every single one of those items. We are taking $5 out of our $20.46 profit, increasing our business. And now instead of having a 100 item store, now we have a 170 item store, and we still walked away with $1,050 in the bank. If you mess around and do this for a year, you might look at your bank account and have a bunch of money. So again, we'll do another example. The most important piece of this process is what? We have to have enough spread in our listings to make sure that we can afford to take our original investment, give ourselves another opportunity, put money in the bank, and then grow our store. So this does not work if the margins are small, and this does not work if our items do not sell through quick. So again, you could do the same thing. As long as you have the $20 profit, you get your $5 original investment back. Original investment. What comes to your bank account is $25. The people who like to rehash this, they forget about the original investment. You get your original money back when you sell an item. If you sold an item in person that you paid $5 for to someone else for $20, you got a $15 profit, and you got your original $5 back to you. You get your money back. So for here, this is our profit. We got our money back. We take our money, and just like we talked about in the Hanley podcast, you are not afraid to sell items if you are confident that you can go out and replace it with a better item. So we get our $5 back and we replace it with an even better item. Hopefully this item sells for 22. And now we put even more money in the bank. Maybe it sells for 25. We put more money in the bank. If this item only sells for $5 and you get your original investment back, then go back out and try to purchase an item that's going to allow you to have this spread. So we get $25 back. Our original investment goes to give us another opportunity, a new item that we can put back into our store. Still put $20 in the bank. If you want to grow, you will give yourself 2 opportunities into the store, but only $15 will go in the bank. You sell 10 items a day, 150 go into the bank. If you want to go extreme grow mode, and this becomes not sustainable after a certain amount of time, you will have a $20 profit. You will have your original investment. This goes back out the door. You will take another $5 to grow your store. You can take another $5 and grow your store again. So now you get 3 opportunities and you bank $10 on every single sale. You can give yourself 4 more opportunities and still bank $5 on every single sale. Now, if anybody out there can sell 1 item and then replace it with 4 more items, and you want to go crazy and take all of your money and put nothing in the bank, and you want to replace every 1 item that you sell with 5 new items in your eBay store, I am the king of listing. I've listed hundreds of thousands of items myself. I've listed more than probably anybody else on the planet. This is not even sustainable for me. I cannot sell 1 item and replace it for 5. That means you sell 20 items today, you list 100. How long can you guys do that for? Not long. So that's why it is impossible to resell and make $0. So how do people resell and make $0? It's very easy. They make a $20 profit. They get their original $5 back. They give their store another opportunity. They buy the next item, the next item, the next item, the next item. They spend their full $25. And then what do? They don't list it. So now they have $20 over here sitting in a pile of garbage that's never going to be listed. Instead of being smart, giving themselves another opportunity, and then if they want to grow, give themselves a second opportunity, and then still put $15 in the bank every single day. Every single item you sell, you can put $15 in the bank so long as you have this spread, so long as you get your original investment back, so long as you are disciplined with spending, so long as you are disciplined with listing. It is impossible to run an eBay store sustaining and not be profitable. It is damn near impossible to run an eBay store, still grow. This is you growing by 100% every single day. This is you growing by 100% every single day, It is impossible to grow your store by 100% every single day, sell one, list two, and not be profitable. It is impossible to do extreme grow mode, sell one, replace it with 3 or 4, and still put $5 in the bank. It is impossible for us as resellers to not have money in our bank accounts. If we are doing that, it is because we are sourcing ourselves out of business. And if you are sourcing yourself out of business, slow down. You are either buying too much or you're buying stuff that takes too long to sell. You are buying too much or this takes too long to sell. Those are the two reasons why people end up going out of business. Now, the question is, when can I grow? You can grow when your business and when your store can afford it. We all have bills. We all depend on eBay to pay our bills. If you sell 10 a day and you're putting $15 in the bank, every day you put $150 in the bank. We already established that every 7 days, we're putting $1,050 in the bank. So just for simplicity, we will do 150 times 30 days. That is $4,500 in the bank. We have bills, whatever your bills are. We have reinvesting into the business. We have savings, business savings. We should all have business savings. So we already know our reinvesting into the business, that is already gone. So that's not even counted in this because our $150 does not even count our reinvesting into the business. So all we have to do is pay our bills and put our savings. So if you are being responsible, you have $4,500 a month coming in. We need to live underneath our means because our business needs to be profitable, and then our personal life also needs to be profitable. And then we need to have our savings. Let's say you can save $1,000 a month because your personal bills are $3,500. Your business is still sustaining because we always get our original investment back. That's not even counted in this. This was our profit that went into our pocket. This was not including our original investments. Now we have our savings. We're saving $1,000 a month. After 3 months, you got $3,000. Great. When should I grow? I want to grow. I want to increase my listings. It's only when your business can afford it. And for me, I like to have a substantial amount of business savings. And as you grow, you gain more responsibility and you need to have more of a business savings. As you have employees, you need to have more of a business savings. As you get a storage unit or a warehouse, you need to have more of a business savings. So this number is going to fluctuate. And if you're doing it correctly, it should accumulate and get more because you are eventually going to accumulate and get more responsibilities. So if you have $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, whatever you have in the bank, if you are going to grow by 2 a day, that's $20 per day. That's $140 per week. $20 times 30 days, that's going to be $600 a month. So we are going to take a savings haircut of $600 just by buying 2 additional per day. But guess what? We still save $400 a month into our business savings account. So instead of now going from $5,000 to $6,000, now we go to $5,000 to $5,400 after month 1 of growing our store. Our bills are still paid. Our original investment is going back into the store. But we only saved $400 this month instead of saving $1,000, which is fine because again, our bills are paid, our business is still running, our savings has been depleted slightly. So this is another core principle of the group that a lot of people don't understand or get wrong when they are explaining it. So now we're in a deficit. Instead of saving $1,000 a month, we're only saving $400 a month. That's not good because we're used to putting $1,000 in our bank every single month. And one of the things that we talk about and one of the things that we measure every single day in the group, we measure the percent that my bank account went up or down. If your bank account is going down, it needs to be addressed. So we talk about this all the time. So people like to ask, hey, I've put this original investment back into my business. I am used to saving $1,000 a month, but now I'm only saving $400 a month because an extra $600 is going into my business to grow. When will it catch up? How do I know it can catch up? And there is an exercise that you could do that will theoretically show you when it will catch up. For exercise purposes, if you have 1,000 items in your store and you sell 10 per day, that tells you for every 100 items in your store, that is going to equate to 1 sale. If you had 1,100 items in your store, theoretically, you should sell 11 items a day, because every new 100 items you introduce into your store, for this example, that will give you an extra sale. So if you had 2,000 items in your store, and for every new 100 items that you introduce equal 1 sale, this store should have 20 sales per day. So we could do it with a little bit more different numbers. All right, so let's say you have 3,336 items in your store and you sell 8 a day. Great. So we do 3,336 divided by 8. And that means for every 417 items in your store, that is going to equate to 1 additional sale. Now, this is just an exercise just to give you some sort of forecasting and some sort of estimate. On average, every 417 items that you introduce to your store will get you 1 additional sale. So if this store grows by 417 items, 336 plus 417, once this store reaches 3,753 items, this store on average should sell 9 items per day. If you add another 417 items, on average, we will sell 10 items per day. Now, if you are in this range of 400 items equals 1 new sale, you need to really, really, really have a deep look, and you need to really, really, really assess what? Your sell-through. This is a very slow sell-through. This over here is a 1% sell-through. 1% sell-through is tossed around a lot online as like a principle or like a baseline. There is no guarantee in a 1% principle. If we are talking about guarantees 1% principle, that is not true. A lot of people can look in their store right now and they have less than a 1% sell-through. Now, sell-through is usually gauged, and this is a good qualifying question to ask whenever we are talking about sell-through. What is the data set that we are looking at when we are regarding sell-through? Typically, it's 90 days. Typically 90 days. So if you do the math for your store and you have a 0.5% sell-through, that means on average, it takes your items 180 days to sell, which is 6 months. So the 1% sell-through rule is not a rule. It all depends on the quality of items you have in your store. Now, if you have 1,000 items in your store and you get 10 sales a day, in this exercise, for every 10 items for every 100 items that you introduce into your store, it's going to equate to another sale. Now, this is considering everything remains the same. Your product mix remains the same, your brands remain the same, your prices remain the same, your keywords, your title, your market. If you introduce 100 items that are exactly this same blend, exactly these same prices, exactly the same incentivizes that you do, coupons, best offers, this is considering that everything stays exactly the same. On average, every new 100 items that you enter into your store is going to give you 1 additional sale. Now, if you put in 100 iPhones and they're under market, you're not going to sell an additional one item. You will sell 110 items that day because you put in 100 great, beautiful items. If you put in 100 pieces of garbage, you're still going to sell 10 items, no matter if your store was 5,000 items large, because you're only getting your sales out of these 100 items. So this is considering that everything stays exactly the same. Now, in order to get more sales, I need to increase my store. A lot of people like to talk about, oh, once I get my store to a certain level, then I will be able to get a certain amount of sales. Or eBay will give me a certain amount of sales. eBay doesn't give you sales. eBay doesn't take away sales. eBay doesn't turn off your business once you've gotten your number of sales per day. If you listed 100 gold bars and iPhones, you would sell 100 items today. If you listed 10,000 pieces of garbage, you will sell 0 items today. There are a lot of stores that have a lot of gold bars and a lot of iPhones. They do tremendously well. There are a lot of stores that are huge stores like BHFO and a lot of these other companies, these mega companies that have 1 million listings on eBay, but they ain't selling nothing, 0 items, because it's garbage. It's bad listings and it's garbage. So how do I get my store from 1,000 items to 1,100 items? To get that one additional sale per day that can add another $20 per day into my bank account, where I can recover the $600 that I am down from our example of saving $1,000 a month. And now we're only saving $400 a month because 600 bucks is coming out of our pocket to increase our store. Again, very simple. If you list 10 a day, everybody out there who lists 10 a day, you don't sell 10 every single day. You sell 6, 4, 5, 8. Every single day, there's going to be net 2, net 3, net 4. So you go onto eBay and you look at your sales tab and you see how many items you sold in the last 30 days. So if you're listing 10 a day, you have listed 300 items this month. 10 a day, 30 days in the month, 300 items per month. You go to your sales tab and you see how many items you sold last month. You sold 200 items last month. So what does that mean? That means that your store grew by 100 items last month. That gets you from 1,000 to 1,100. And that will get you your additional sale without you doing anything else, just by organically listing your 10 a day, organically selling 8, selling 6, selling 7, organically netting 2, 3, and 4 items per day. Organically, your store will grow, and organically, you will make more money. So this is the example that I've done for my business many, many times over. I've always grew my store to the correct size that I needed to be able to list and sell the same amount per day. So once upon a time, I used to list 120 items a day, sell 120 items per day. Now, the math looks like this. At that time, I had an average sale price of $30, and it's the exact example that we are doing. My item cost was $5. So every single sale, I was netting $20.46. I was doing this 120 times a day. I was really getting $25.46 into my bank. I was taking my original principal and I was going right back out 120 times a day and buying 120 more items. And I was saving $20.46 per day, every single day on 120 sales. 120 times $20.46 every single day in my bank account. I was saving $2,455.20. And every single day I was spending $5 on 120 items. And I just took that original money and put it right back into inventory. But every single day this went into my bank account. I did not increase my listings. I did not do anything. I stayed at the same size, but I always netted listings to get my store larger and larger and larger. And then one day the warehouse next door became available and I boosted my listings up to 250. The day that I boosted up my listings to 250 a day, we talked about it into the group. And I said, I am going to need a store that is 50,000 items in order to list 250 and sell 250 per day. Because I knew that my sell-through was going to slow down because now my listing allowance became larger. I was not able to find 250 items that sold through in 90 days every single day. It is very difficult to find 250 items that are going to sell through in 90 days. Very difficult. So I had to lessen the metric that I was looking for, and I started looking for a 6-month sell-through. A 6-month sell-through is 0.5%, 180 days. And because I was looking for a 6-month sell-through, I knew my store needed to be 50,000 items in order to list 250 and sell 250. Because a 1% sell-through would be listing 250 and selling 500 a day. And that is impossible to do. Because mathematically speaking, 1% of 50,000, you can only do this one time. And then it goes down to 49,500. And now your 1% sell-through is 495 items. And then it's going to decrease and decrease and decrease because you're not replenishing them fast enough in order to maintain that kind of speed, that kind of sell-through. So I knew the day that I voluntarily signed up to list 250 items, I knew that I needed to get my store to 50,000 items in order to list 250 and sell 250 per day. Now, doing this, my average sale price also did come down, and it came down to $24.77. But I was selling 130 additional items just at a reduced cost, and I was still printing money using the eBay machine, which is something that all of us should be doing. So I know this is like a lot of information, a ton of information. You may have to watch this 2 or 3 times, but I promise you, it is possible to run an eBay business profitable from day one. So a lot of you guys know the first item that I ever purchased, T-Mobile Sidekick. I bought it for $35 on Craigslist. I sold it for $70, same day on eBay. Now in my mind, before I knew all the fees, before I knew everything that I know now, in my mind, I doubled my money. I turned my 35 into 70. Let me go out here and buy 2 more T-Mobile Sidekicks. 35, 35. Let me go out here and sell them for 140. Great. I took my original 35 bucks, bought 2 more. Now I have 140. Okay, let me go out and buy 2 more T-Mobile Sidekicks. Now I have the opportunity to make 140 again. But what did I do? I saved $70. Sell these 2 more for another 140. What am I going to do? Buy 2 more T-Mobile Sidekicks, save 70. Now in my bank account, I have 140, and I still have the opportunity to buy 2 more. And that's what I did over and over and over again. And I kept saving, I kept using my original investment, and I kept growing my business. That's all I did. I bought an item, replaced it, got an additional one, sold both, bought an item, replaced it, replaced both, put the rest into my bank account. We could do this with smaller numbers. You spend $5, sell an item for 20, buy 2 more items, which means $10 out of this 20 is going to come out. $10 goes to our bank account. We have 2 more items, so now we have an opportunity to make $40. We sell that item. We take our 2 opportunities again, so we take $10 out of that. 30 goes to our bank account. We have 40. We do the same thing. We have 10 items. We're going to sell both of those for $40. $30 goes to our bank account. Now we're at 70 bucks on flip number 3, and we still have our 2 opportunities to sell for $5 each. Our buy costs, our 2 opportunities, sell those each for $20 each. We come back with 40 bucks, take $20 out of that, put it into the bank over and over and over and over and over again. We do have the ability to save our money. We do have the ability to start with no money. You can find something in the trash, sell it on eBay for $20, buy 4 items. If those 4 items get you a $20 profit, now we have 80. We got our original $20 back, put this 80 right in the bank and do the same thing again. Go out and buy 4 more items. That's going to get you 80 bucks. Keep rolling your $20, keep rolling the 20 and keep putting the 80 bucks back in the bank and do this over and over and over again until one day you look up, you look at your bank account and you have so much money that you don't know what to do with. This is not a complicated theory. This is not a theory. This is something that I have done in real life. This is something that I've done for 15 years. This is something that we talk about in the group. And this is something that we spend a lot of time on. So in order to do this, you have to be disciplined. In order to do this, you have to make sure that your money is correct. In order to do this, you have to make sure that you are not sourcing yourself out of business and you are not buying inventory and not listing it. So a lot of helpful things. We need to develop a good Rolodex on items that we could pick up that will allow us to have this amount of spread where we can save a good amount of money and then we could take our original investment and then put it back into the product, and also will allow us to save a good amount of money, pull a little bit out of our savings, and then grow our business by giving ourselves 2 opportunities for every time we sell 1 item. Again, we have the deep dive document, very, very, very helpful. We also do a call on Wednesday morning inside of the group. I host the morning call Wednesday or every single day, and the morning call is fire. We're in there learning, we're in there rocking and rolling. Every single Wednesday, we do a show and tell. We present cool items that we find, tell everybody why they're cool, tell everybody why we pick them up, tell everybody the tag, the sell-through, all of that kind of stuff. We do that every single Wednesday. And I think last Wednesday when we did the call, in 1 hour, there had to be over $50,000 worth of merchandise sold. So that is a very, very good call. In the beginner call, we go over this stuff time and time again because it really, really, really needs to be hammered home. We also have the zip code call to show you how to find profitable items in your area. And on top of all of this, we have the bookkeeping and accounting call, which is on Wednesdays. And that is a very, very important call. And the very first call in that section is a very basic beginner introduction to bookkeeping. So keep in mind, when we buy items, there's 3 buckets. There is our profit that goes into the bank. There is our original investment. And then there is room for growth. So with our $20, we really get back $25 because we get back our original investment. The $20 is the profit. The original investment, we go out and replace that item. The $20 profit goes in 2 directions: into savings, into growth. If you are doing this correctly, you will get so much money that you cannot, it's physically impossible to keep growing at a maximum rate, because you can't go out and replace 1 item with 5 items or 6 items over and over and over again, because eventually you're going to sell, 4,000 items and now you have to replace them with 20,000 items. Like, it's physically impossible to do. And this is all considering, a $5 buy cost, where we can all go to the flea market and we can find stuff for $1, $2, $4. We can go to the thrift store and find stuff for $7 or $8. And if you find stuff for $7 or $8, you go into the calculator and you figure out what your price needs to be. And one of the exercises that we do in the group that really helps a lot of people is we do the 1 to 100 exercise. And that shows you how profitable you are for every single offer that you get. If you get an offer for $42.14, you look at your 1 to 100 sheet and you know exactly how much money you're going to put into your pocket in order to decide if this is an offer that you should accept or not. So again, like Hanley said, one of the things that we talk about in the group is that if you are a very good sourcer, if you know how to find good product, you're not scared to sell items. You are not scared to accept offers. It is not a scarcity mindset. You turn into an abundance mindset. It is not a reactive mindset. It is a proactive mindset. There is items everywhere. If you can't find items for $5, go somewhere else. There are items for $5 where you are. If your buy cost is $5, go somewhere else. There are items for $2. There are items everywhere for whatever kind of price that you want to pay. You can go to a flea market, a garage sale, and your average cost of goods is going to be under $5. You go to a thrift store, your average cost of goods is going to be between 5 and 10. You go to a rag house, your average cost of goods, if you want to get in there and dig, is going to be about $1. So there is stuff everywhere for every kind of price point, and every single business works. You just have to figure out how to make it work. I guess all in all, I just want people to understand that it is our responsibility to grow a resale business profitably. And if you do it correctly by using what we talked about in this conversation, it is impossible to run a resale business where you are not making profit. Relies on two things. You need to have enough spread in your items, meaning your items have to be profitable enough. If you are buying items for $1 and selling them for $3, this don't work. If you are buying items for $8 and selling them for $20, it's more difficult because you don't have the spread. After all your fees, you can't afford to, you get your original profit, you get your original principal back, your original investment, that you can replace it, but you don't get enough money to buy another item and then put money into the bank. So now you have to sell 2 items to get an additional item in your store. You can replace both of those, but in order to get an additional item, you have to sell 2. Where in this situation, you sell 1, you can replace it, you can buy another one, and then you can also put money in the bank. So the spread is very important. The spread is very important. So if you find yourself not being able to put money into the bank, not being able to grow your store or sustain your store, you don't have enough spread. That means the items that you're picking up, you're either paying too much for, or they're not good enough items that sell for a high enough price. Again, we have the deep dive document. We have the zip code call. We have the call on Friday that does deep dives. We have the show and tell call on Wednesday. Every single call that we do is geared towards finding items that are profitable. Number 2, if you are having issues with putting money in your bank account, it's either it doesn't have enough spread or they are not selling fast enough. That means you are inventory rich, cash poor. We don't need to have all of our money locked into inventory. We cannot pay our rent. We cannot pay our mortgage. We cannot pay our car bill. We can't pay any bill with our inventory, with our shirts, with our vases, with our CDs, with our media. We just can't do it. We have to pay our bills with money, cash, however you want to call it. So if you are not able to put items into your, if you are not able to put money into your bank account, it's because there's not enough spread to afford you to replace the item and put money into your bank account, or your items are not selling fast enough. And if your items are not selling fast enough, I plead you, I beg you to make sell-through your number one focus, your top criteria when you are outsourcing. If you focus on, will this item sell through in the amount of time that I want it to? Yes, pick it up. No, leave it behind. Will picking up this item increase my bank account? Yes, pick it up. No, pick it behind. If you make every single decision based on those 2 criterias, sell through and will this improve my bank account, you will make a lot more different decisions. Now, okay, we've went to 3 stores. We have 8 items. I list 10 a day. I need 2 more items. This store doesn't have items that are going to sell through in the amount of time that I want them to, and they're not going to give me the profit that I want them to give me. So what do I need to do? You need to go to another store. Everyone loves to source. We all say, oh, sourcing is my favorite. Sourcing is my favorite. until you have to go out there and source and actually find good items. And then we don't want to go to another store. So what happened? All these people, we want to source. That's all we want to do. We want to treasure hunt and find items. But no one wants to go into an additional store and find better product. Why is that? Why is that? Why do we all want to source, but nobody wants to go to an additional store to find good items? Blows my mind. I don't understand it. So if you have gone to 3 stores, you have 8 items, do not compromise. Do not compromise, because you are compromising your money and you are compromising your sell-through. And if you compromise those 2 things too many times, you are going to have no money in your bank account and you're going to have too slow a sell-through. So the choice is yours. Ultimately, it's yours. Nobody can handhold you. Nobody can make sure that you're paying attention to your metrics. Nobody can make sure that you're paying attention to your sell-through. That's all up to you at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, we have to buy these items and we have to list them. If we just want to buy, that is a different business. This business requires listing. This business requires photography. This business requires you to wear a lot of hats. So I guess I'm just going to leave you with, try to get items that are as close as possible to get you a $20 profit. If you do, life is very easy. Try to get items that are going to sell through within 90 days. If you do, this business becomes very easy. Now, that is an example. It is not a requirement. You can still run a great business on a $15 profit, on a $20 profit, a $25 profit. It's all good. It's just the easiest, less resistant way to run an eBay business is with a $20 profit. Now, we don't have to do that. That's just the least resistance way, because if you start reselling, the number one goal people always have is, oh, I want to make $100,000. Great. The least resistant path to making $100,000 per year is selling 14 $20 profit items. That is the least resistance path. That will get you $100 profit. And if I asked you and said, hey, can you go out today and can you find 14 items that you are going to sell for a $20 profit? I think every single person here, in their mind, they know they're capable of doing it. It's just 14 items. And if you're not, hit the group, go to the deep dive document. We'll get you up to speed. Beginner, been doing this for 20 years. We have everybody, all shapes and sizes. We got them all. And they all come in and they all learn. 14 $20 profit items will get you a $100,000 profit business. That's the math. So concentrate on that, concentrate on sell-through, concentrate on the spread, and everybody can run a profitable resale business if they focus on what we've talked about on this call. I know there was a lot of information, a lot of writing on the board, a ton of information. Feel free to watch it a couple times. Feel free to leave some comments below. Feel free to join the group. If it doesn't work out for you or for whatever reason, send me an email. I'll give you a refund. If you cannot be profitable on $1 a day and have access to 30 calls and coaches in every single niche, and me running the morning call every single day, the accountability, the goal setting, the BOLOs, the deep dives, if you cannot turn a profit on $1 per day, I will happily issue you a refund. Happy to do so. So it's no risk, no reward. The only risk is you might improve your business. The only risk is you might have a fantastic 2024. And I hope and wish, and with every ounce of my being, that everybody finds success, everybody builds the business around the life that they want to live, and everybody uses eBay as a tool to multiply money, as we have outlined in this discussion and on this podcast. So I appreciate everybody for sticking in this long. I know it was a heavy episode, but this is very, very important. If you've made it this far, feel free to subscribe, like it, drop a comment for the algorithm, respect the algorithm, and share it with another reseller friend, because this is probably the most important reseller video in 2024, and I'm going to release it right at the beginning. So thank you, everybody. Once again, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody who joins the group. I'm engaged, I'm locked in, I'm there for you guys. I understand the responsibility, and I am there to lead the way in a proper and productive manner. So thank you again. And as always, be great.